You're looking at the surf at Robert Moses as Long Island starts to feel the impact of Hurricane Erin. Ocean beaches have been closed to swimming, and officials are warning of possible flooding and erosion. You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Buffa. We'll have more on that hurricane impact in just a moment. But first, police are searching for a man who allegedly threatened a teenager with a gun. Now, cops say it happened at the Roosevelt High School football field Monday night. The man is described to be in his mid-30s to 40s and was arguing with the 17-year-old on the field. The teen ran away and called the cops. Now, police are asking anyone with info to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-244-TIPS. And a gang member who police say attacked a teenager has been sentenced to 52 years in prison. Jason Chavez Campos was one of the 7 MS-13 members convicted of the attack. Now, prosecutors say the 15-year-old victim was beaten, stabbed, and hit in the head with a brick. Authorities say attackers left the teen in an abandoned building at the Pilgrim State Psychiatric Center thinking he was dead. He managed to walk to a nearby road where he was found by a Good Samaritan who called 911. The delivery driver has pleaded guilty to leaving the scene after hitting a 14-year-old boy on a bike. The boy was left at the intersection with a broken leg. Edward Drexel also admitted to making repairs to his van to cover up the damage. It happened in North Belmore back in 2023. And only in Newsday, members of a local fire department will take mandatory trainings after an incident between its fire chief and a minor went viral. North Babylon's former fire chief, Peter Alt, was seen on cell phone video cursing at a 10-year-old girl. The town of Babylon supervisor says the fire company now must undergo sensitivity trainings and updates its policy for dealing with minors. Alt has been withheld of his duties. And Governor Kathy Hochul says New Yorkers will still get their inflation rebate checks despite cuts in the federal budget. Now, Hochul says the $400 checks will be mailed out in October to about 8 million New Yorkers, and more than 1 million Long Islanders are expected to get one. All right, let's take a quick look at tomorrow's weather as we deal with this hurricane impact. As you can see here, we have showers in the morning and clouds pretty much all afternoon into the evening. We'll have wind with us and temps will be low, scratching the 70s. Hurricane Erin is bringing high surf, strong winds, and dangerous rip currents to Long Island. In fact, here's a look at the U.S. Air Force dropping buoys into the ocean. Now, these help send data to the National Weather Service to improve forecasts. Also, state parks and town officials have declared states of emergencies as they brace for possible erosion and flooding. Ocean beaches are closed to swimming, but some are still open for surfers.
Lifeguards will be on the beaches. Lifeguards will be having shore patrol. We'll be walking the shores. We are here to make sure everybody's safe that's in the water for the surfers and the boogie boarders that do come down.
Newsday reporter Macy Eglin tells us about the potential damage Hurricane Erin could bring.
Hurricane Erin's impact being felt across the south shore of Long Island, from big swells to whipping winds and storm surge.
We are seeing some rip currents. We are seeing some severe undercurrents.
Parks officials putting measures in place to protect people and the infrastructure. Here at Robert Moses Field 5, the red flags are already up, meaning no one is allowed to swim.
We analyze the surf condition each morning, but from the forecast we're seeing, in all likelihood, it will be in place for the next couple of days. Just
west at Jones Beach, they've built a wall of sand between the bathhouses and are sandbagging around vulnerable buildings.
And that protects the infrastructure of the Central Mall, the boardwalk, and the facility buildings there. Even though it's hundreds of miles away, we see it, we get concerned, we start to put it in place right away.
While many work to batten down the hatches, surfers are out in force.
When there's a hurricane offshore, you get longer period between the waves, and that makes for better surf. Each wave is more powerful, and there's time to paddle out.
Typically, it's like nice, fun, playful. Now it's starting to get a little bit more like aggressive.
But as the storm intensifies, even veteran surfers could be forced out.
They're tethered to surfboards, so they have a flotation device. However, if we do get concerned and we do see that there is a safety element, even the most experienced surfers, we will prohibit surfing.
The town of Hempstead also announcing swimming will be off limits at its town beaches Wednesday, Thursday, and possibly Friday. With protections in place, now a waiting game, as Erin could cause major coastal flooding and erosion. Reporting for Newsday TV, I'm Macy Eglund.
President Trump says he wants to get rid of mail-in voting. Newsday's Joshua Solomon tells us how likely that is to happen here in New York.
What we know is that election experts like the ACLU don't think that this would be possible, at the very least at the state level. The ACLU doesn't see at the state level that Trump or Congress could dictate how states run their elections. But there's a caveat here. Congress can decide the manners in which federal elections are run. And that leaves some room for question and to learn more, and whether the president would do something by executive order or with Congress are unknowns at the moment.
Fun way to spend the day with kids. I'm Elisa DiStefano, and here's the scoop on Camp Ice Cream.
Get creative and design your own themed DIY day camp.
Today, we are going to be making these really cute little ice cream signs that you could put in your rooms.
Book an appointment in advance for Camp Ice Cream at Let's Craft in Westbury.
We have a couple of different ice cream related crafts. The one thing I like about this is each of them can show their individuality.
Do you like ice cream? How much? 10.
Kids can paint, play, and of course, eat ice cream.
We were looking for things to do, wanted some air conditioning. You know, we've had enough sun, and they like to make a mess and decorate inside of my house. How come you didn't eat any of your ice cream?
I'm too busy.
You're too busy making a masterpiece over here. Is it making you hungry? Well, good thing you have, I guess it did make you hungry.
If you want to indulge in more ice cream, you can make your next stop an ice cream shop, or head to Main Street Board Game Cafe in Huntington to play ice cream themed games. And the cherry on top is that you can mix and match your ice cream activities.
Since it's the end of the summer, this is a great opportunity for parents to spend some bonding time with their kids. You know, it's that in-between time between camp and school starting. It's a great time to connect, spend some time together, do something fun, have some ice cream.
You all screaming for
Looks like a lot of fun. All right, let's take a closer look at your 7-day forecast. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to have a lot of rain and wind. Temps will be very low in the 70s. For Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those are our sun graphics, and that is what it'll look like for the rest of the week. 80s will take us out.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy, helping Long Island homes and businesses save with solar for over 20 years.
You're watching Newsday TV. For more on all the stories you've seen here today, head over to Newsday.com. I'm Ken Bufa. Thank you so much for joining us.